Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yep.
So what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next, aka WGN. Whether they want us to say it or not, we will continue to say it. Thank you always for listening to us, tuning in for the different content we end up putting out each and every week. Before we get into everything else, I do want to thank and give a shout out, one, to the Degods community, which is an NFT on the Solana blockchain. You guys listening, you know who you are, so I really appreciate it. The other one is thank you to everyone that has started following me as of recent. I finally hit 10,000 followers, so I was hype about that. So I appreciate that. So now the big thing is getting We Got Nexus channel up there, and then making Steven's I was getting to you.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
And then making Steven's profile picture a Degod soon. Because remember what happened when he had the alien and he got followers.
All right, so when that happened, I only got like 30 followers. Like you made it seem like and a lot of those people have stopped following me.
I know that's what they
do. So like it didn't really go well. I mean, okay. So you follow me and you followed me for a long time now on Twitter, and I feel like I get some respect from certain people that I follow or certain people that follow me. I put out great content, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm like a lesser version of like Stephen A, Skip Bayless. I'm like a people say like there's like a poor man's version. I'm like the homeless version of those guys. Like I got to put out like stupid tweets. Like I genuinely believe the things that I'm saying, unlike those guys. But like I feel like I put out good content. It's like I'm a good follow.
So here's the thing with Steven, because his content is really good, but it reminds me of rappers that'll say the exact same thing as Drake and they won't get anything for it. But if Drake says the same exact verses, Drake gets 1 billion streams and everything like that. So that's legit how Steven is. He's saying the same thing that everyone else is saying, but because he doesn't have the followers, well, he has Rex Chapman, which is the big one, because I don't have that. And he went viral with the tweet, which I did. So
I did. Yeah, that tweet, like, okay. So
God.
Let me read the stats on that one real quick, because that didn't do as much to my career as you might as you might think it should. I'll tell you that right now. So I put out a tweet. This was from the draft in 2019. So almost 3 years ago, coming up on 3 years, right? I had this is perfect. This gives you the whole breakdown of the tweet activity and everything, right? For over 4 million impressions. Whatever, like that's people who viewed it, liked it, retweeted it, whatever. I had 37,000 likes, 7,500 retweets, and 306 likes. Like over 310,000 engagements, yada yada yada. I had 3,210 page profile visits, right? Guess how many new followers I got? Just guess. Just take a number.
20.
0. 0. Bro, I can't even I can't make this shit up, dude. I cannot make this shit up. You can't see it probably, but like look at that. You can't fucking see it, obviously. But I had over 4 million impressions, 37,000 retweet or likes, 37,000 likes, 7,500 retweets, 306 comments. And the comments were just like people tagging their other followers in this video. And I got no new followers. Rex Chapman followed me before that. So that video didn't even cause him to follow me. He followed me before that. I got 0 followers from that video that had over 2 million views and 4 million total impressions on people. How is that possible? Like that like people say like, oh, this and this is mathematically impossible. That's mathematically impossible. That breaks all like math.
Nobody
theories.
said, let me click follow.
No one, bro. Like I was so hurt by that. I was so hurt that no one followed me. I got no followers from that. I had to turn off notifications because it just kept going and going.
Yeah.
But none of those damn notifications were, hey, new follower. I don't even know how, I don't know how that's possible. It's not like I'm getting all worked up about this. I just don't know how that's humanly possible. That breaks all theories of just life. All the ideas of math that we've been told in life. That breaks every single theory.
Not one person.
That should be in a math book. If Steven puts out a video and gets 4 million followers, yada, 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 yada. How many followers did he gain? 120, 50, 30, 0. No one would guess 0. I'd guess 100. I would guess maybe 100 before I would guess 0. If you didn't know me and you just saw the number.
Yeah, for that amount, you would think something.
Bro, I don't know what else I got to do.
So something humanly possible is your quick slants. What's up with that?
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. So I was off last week, off the last 2 weeks. Went to the beach last week to finish up my daughter's birthday weekend. So we'll be back this week. Not a whole lot of Penn State football stuff to talk about. So it'll be kind of starting getting ready for the combine. I'm probably gonna dive into some of the guys that are going from Penn State, but the NBA will be back in full swing. We'll talk about the dunk contest or lack of dunk contest, which we'll talk about later on tonight. Yeah, it'll just be a general sports. I might dive into some other topics, more serious topics within the world of sports, but yeah, just we'll get back on track this week, and then the March Madness is starting to creep up, and then the combine, the draft, all that kind of good stuff is. I mean, before you know it, it's gonna be the NBA Finals in the summertime.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but yeah, we'll get back on track tomorrow night.
So we'll dive into a lot of things Steven brought up as we get closer to the sports section. I do want to, we always have certain videos that we got to bring out. So this one, I keep looking at it and I'm just like, how is this not humanly possible? I don't even know how animals end up sitting this way. Have you seen this?
No.
So I used to have a dog and I was like, they would sit like this, like a guy. But my man's is legit chewing, eating his food.
Yo, that cat is stoned. There's no other explanation. Look how big that cat is. That cat is stoned out of its mind. I've never seen an animal do that before.
I've never.
He's literally expanding its claws and grabbing food from a bowl. I've never seen that before.
So someone said, if your cat's doing this, they gotta pay rent. And so that was the first one.
Even cats in the wild, lions and tigers don't eat their prey like that. I hate cats, by the way.
I don't like cats.
Big cats, I love, lions. I wish I could have a lion or tiger as a pet. That'd be kind of dope. Cheetahs, leopards, all those kind of cool things. Those are dope. House cats, I can do without those things.
No.
I'm sorry for all of our listeners who are cat people. I'm sure the people who like cats are the one who snitched on us about our name too.
So that's another thing. Steven went on his tangent about the tweet. And so back a couple months ago, we won't say everything because clearly they'll probably end up listening to this. But someone reached out to us saying, you guys got to change your name because they're going to send some search and desist and get you guys kicked out. Months went by. We didn't think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden I was like, where the hell you come from? Just out of the blue to end up being hey, you guys need to change your name. So me being all right, let me go look up their copyright rules. I just put a dot between our stuff and then put the. You can't have every single word around WGN. Okay, fine. You guys got WGN. That's annoying because that's somebody having something similar to NBA or some other shit. But anyways, did you see this one?
I saw this today. Yes. So there's a good. This
is clearly a red light.
First of all, shout out to this guy for surviving this.
Yeah. So he's the main person I focused in on because he threw me off when I saw him walking across the street again. at the end. But for starters, this is a red light. You see this car right here because that's the main car you'll end up paying attention to. And shout out to this car for recording it all, because if like Geico and stuff started coming in. Yeah.
Okay, time out. So we all go down the YouTube wormhole on weekends and just random nights, right? Like I'll probably do that tonight. I somehow, and if you look at your, like, if it's one of those nights and you go down the wormhole for a long time and you look at your history and like how you got from point A to point Z, there's just a whole lot in between that you just don't remember that you watched. Somehow I end up on like bad drivers in America. I cannot believe how many people have these dash cams. Bro, I watched probably 3 videos totaling like an hour, I would say, of just like, it was like part 1, part 2, part 3. I watched a ton of these videos and now they'll pop up on my main feed. So I watch them all the time now. Bro, I cannot believe how many people have these dash cams.
I know.
Everybody has one but me. I don't understand. Like, I shit
Exactly.
you not, everybody has one but me. I don't understand it. Like, everybody has one.
Yeah.
And it was from like, and there's hundreds of like of videos that are in these, in these clips all across the country, all across the world. Everyone has them but me. I don't get it.
I didn't realize it either.
Like,
and then
I feel like if
you need it for.
I feel like if I put one in my car, I'm gonna see some shit. It's not until you have that shit in your car, then you start to see some stuff. But I don't want to put it in my car because I don't want that shit to happen to me. I
know. All the shit that you can see. So I'm gonna play this because first off, it's a red light. So that's the first part I keep trying to think through. This guy clearly, doing what he's supposed to do because it's a red light. So he should be able to walk across the street. And you see this car, and even though it's paused, you can tell the car is not stopped. I stopped it. But then you have like random cars that come out of nowhere in this whole thing.
Bang, he's flying too.
That one, he's still strolling across the street.
Yeah, he does.
And the airbags are out right here.
Whoa.
And then first off, then you got this car. This car is just done.
I don't know how this car, this main car,
did not get hit. And this is the most random shit.
Bro, first of all right, so go back to when both cars are in the frame. Go back a little bit further, a little more. Okay, so stop right here. Okay, so from the time this happens until the time the other car pulls up, right? So okay, so roll it. So keep going.
This car does not get touched.
No. So all right. So it's 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. 9. All right. So that's like a 5-second window where this car rolled and landed on this other car, but this car doesn't stop immediately.
No.
Like, bro, if my car gets close enough to another car, the brakes automatically just slam on. How do your brakes not just slam on when a car lands on you? And how do you not just like I mean, I guess like you're just in such shock where you just can't slam on the brakes like that quickly. But man, like if I see a car and you probably just not pay attention either, like you're gonna see a car flying at you, right? You would think.
Yes.
And then if a car lands on my windshield and I can't see shit, but like the undercarriage of this car, I'm gonna stop. I mean, I would imagine that like I would stop. But again, this person. I'd love to see if that person has a dash cam.
I'd love to as well. And then to end it all, my man just walks across the street.
Yeah. Bro, how pissed would you be though? Oh, he's coming back. Oh. Bro, how pissed would you be if you're just driving along and a car just lands on you?
That's messing up your day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your day's done, dude.
Who are you going to tell? You can't tell your child, hey, I can't come in today because a car just landed on me.
Like, this is like Frank, you're not going to believe what just happened to me.
No,
you're not going to believe this.
I can't do it. Yeah, I saw an accident that happened. I wasn't even around the accident. The car closest didn't even get touched. It recorded it all.
Fucking landed on my windshield.
Yeah. So I want to go into the crypto side, and I'll keep this as quick as possible. Then towards the end, I'm going to bring Steven back in for an NFT talk that I want to end up having. But I'm going to merge the two together and if Steven, I'm gonna actually, you know what, Steven, I'm gonna bring you in now because the
Yep.
important part is stocks in the crypto side and why everything's going down is because of the man Vladimir Putin is doing the things he's doing over there with Ukraine. You don't have to give me your thoughts on if there's a war or not, but what are your thoughts when it comes to anything Vladimir Putin? From the time we were little kid, we've known about this man since we were little kids as to like, don't fuck with him. Like just leave him alone. So what are your thoughts when you first heard about this? Because clearly everybody's heard something about what Russia's doing.
So we've talked about it before where I don't do politics. I don't do world affairs. I hate to say it, but I could give two shits less about what's going on outside of my windows. Like, you know, unless it pertains to me or you know, the homies or my family. But it seems like this is trending in the wrong direction and has been for a while now. So I think we should just stay as far away from this as humanly possible and let Ukraine and Russia duke it out. I feel like we should have no skin in the game, but I do believe there's consequences for the U.S. Should we go one way or another with Russia. A lot to do with like ammunition trades. I think that could be production, could also be a consequence. I hear this stuff when I'm listening to like the guys I work with when we're like our team meetings. And like there's certain people you work with where like, you know, if a sports topic comes on, whatever, like I'm chiming in that conversation. But if it's like if it's a political thing, we have those, you know, we all work with those people who chime in from left field out of nowhere.
You don't know.
So, you know, I hear it in passing. Again, I don't have like a strong enough, focus on the political world to give you like a strong answer. But I think we should just stay as far away from this as possible, especially if the people over there are like the people in the video you sent me about this guy blowing up a car with a
dog
bow and arrow. Yeah. So was it? I think it was the same video. I think it was the caption too. Was like, you know, we should get the Russian Hicks and the American Hicks to form an alliance, and they would never be beaten, bro. And like if you're from certain parts of this country, and you know, like what I hate saying like the word hick because I know a lot of people who live like that hick lifestyle from like back when I was growing up in Central PA, which is all farmland, but like those people are like rugged, they're outdoorsy, they can do a whole lot of shit that you like don't even know is possible with like hunting and creating weapons and doing things of that nature. So if we form those alliances of like the Russian Hicks and the US Hicks, shit, man, that's an unstoppable force. Yeah.
So I brought that up.
What are your thoughts though? What do you I mean, you're more into that sphere than I am for whatever reasons. You know, I don't know if you just grew up on it, but what are your thoughts on all that?
So a big reason for this. So one of my good friends growing up, shout out Marcus. We always had like history classes together. So I would always be focused on different things when it came to like the world and politics, but also stuff like this. It involves the economy, and they start to say that a lot of wars that happen nowadays are wars over economies and not being in certain clubs. And a big thing is NATO is a huge thing, like the North Atlantic Trade Organization and things of that nature. And they're not
Cardi B.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And a big thing with all of this is they're going to start putting sanctions and restrictions on Putin because of all that he's doing. And at first it was one of those things of like just testing the waters. And a lot of people say that Putin is still frustrated because Russia did used to have Ukraine, and then they end up having to move back. So Ukraine isn't a part of Russia anymore, but he still feels as though he wants to end up bringing back and taking over control of that part, which is Eastern Europe. A lot of people know, and you probably realize that Eastern Europe and Western Europe, totally different. Like when you hear a lot of people from Eastern European countries, not trying to be racist or anything like that, but a lot of people probably think, oh, are you from Russia? That's the first thing, whether you're from like Slovakia, Czech Republic, Ukraine, A person I used to work with actually moved to Kyiv. So I always think about him moving to capital of Ukraine. For everyone out there that doesn't know, it's been a big talking point because they have a lot of security things and that they're big on like cybersecurity and stuff. But my thoughts are, I don't think it'll go into a war like people think, but I feel as though it'll go into an economic war, and you will see differences in like the stock market over here, but also over there. And another big thing is they always say every year or every 2 to 3 years, the stock market is going to drop for different reasons. Whether it's a conspiracy theory thing that they do this stuff on purpose so that it can bring the stock market back or not. Who knows? Some people say that about COVID. People are saying that about what Putin's doing right now. They said that about, remember when Trump and Kim Jong-un were having their things, and when Trump was going to send things over to Rocket Man and stuff of that nature. All of this, how it just messed with the stock market. And if you remember when Trump was saying all that and what he was going to do to Iraq and stuff of that nature, it pushed up Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. And then a lot of the other stocks like Amazon and your big tech stocks started dropping. So you can always pay attention to those different things when it comes to the stock market and stuff. And everything works hand in hand, because when we have fear and stuff, you then start hitting up your life insurance people, you start hitting up your financial advisors like, yo, what do we do in times like this? So then they start to get more commission, they start to get more people. And then also inflation was so high, so we're reducing inflation with all of this. So now it's going to have people think, all right, this is another way to like people forget about inflation, and we can start increasing interest rates and things of that nature. So it becomes a big thing of where you're going to put your money, but also I don't believe right now, if we had a world war, because people are calling this World War III, if we had a world war like we had World War I and World War II, the humans that are living right now would not know what to do. I promise you have to ask your 70, 80, 90-year-old grandparents what they did, because they had a tough one. They legit had to go say bye to mom and dad bye to dad who had to go over into war. And they have to deal with all this. But what I also realized, and people say this all the time, America doesn't know how to mind their own damn business. Like America wants to be in every single war. It reminds me of the eavesdropper everybody has at that job, whereas the conversation that does not even involve them, that they're like, wait, what was that conversation about? It had nothing to do with you. Like, just chill out, let the homies in Europe, like France, England, Spain, if they want to, Italy, let them figure this out. And then if you want to, hit up your people in like South Korea, then let us get involved. But there's no need for us to go over there for this. So that's like my 2 cents on that. A big thing is, because a lot of people always wonder, should you end up having skin in the game when it comes to the stock market or even the cryptocurrency market? My big thing is, because you'll hear from advisors and people that say invest it all right now. I'm never one that says invest it all. You should always have some in just like stable currency, whether it's dollars, euros, pounds, or anything like that. And then wait for either pullbacks to happen, or as it increases, you can continue putting some in. But I don't think you should ever go all in blindly on something unless you do in your ETFs. ETFs are a good one. Pay attention to which techs you're in. Apple, Microsoft. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just me continuing to pay attention to the stock market and looking
Christian
at this.
Is not a licensed financial professional.
Yeah.
But everything he says about the stocks and money should be taken with a grain of salt.
Yes. So with that being said, look at your main one. So if you want to be in Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not going to fall as much as other cryptocurrencies that are out there. Another thing that people need to end up thinking about, and I'll get into this in a second, is look into certain NFTs. If you have enough money like Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, put it in Bored Ape Yacht Club. Just keep it there for a long ass time and you should be fine over time, because of the fact it's tied to Ethereum and it's in Ethereum. So it's not like technically you're losing US dollars. You're just losing, people are losing their Ethereum value. But if you hold it in Bored Ape Yacht Club for a long time and the Ethereum price continues to go back up, you'll be fine. Or just raise the price of your Ethereum if you decide to sell, so that it compensates for you to break even if you want to bring it back into US dollar terms. But just continue to watch them on the stock market side, look at your Amazon, your Microsoft. Tesla has been falling a lot, but Tesla is very volatile, just similar to Bitcoin. So pay attention if you do that. You can do anything in the S&P 5, the top S&P 500. So you can either do that. You can even look at the BOO. You can look at SMH, but pay attention because of the chip shortages when it comes to them as well. But also look into certain healthcare sectors if you would want to. And then just pay attention to different ones that do well as markets pull back. So if interest rates are going up and people can't afford certain things, Target's a good one, Costco's a good one, Home Depot's a good one, Dollar Store's always a good one to look at because they're going to be the places that have customers during this different times. But so that's the big thing I wanted to talk about over there. Just news and notes. Getting into really quickly, Mexico, one of Mexico's senators preparing to propose a crypto law because he believes that Bitcoin should be a legal tender. Snoop Dogg is releasing an NFT music label. So Snoop Dogg has been big in the metaverse already, and this is just something to continue. A lot of times people are trying to focus on ways for the artists to end up making all their money. If you all know who Kanye West is, he actually put out Donda 2. On his own type of platform, whereas he was able to get 100% of the proceeds and he didn't have to give any to labels and different things like that. So he was able to make it back. And they made a comparison to a person having to sell albums at $10 and damn near like 2 million listens and stuff like that. So it's just interesting what happens when you get the full amount. And that's why a lot of artists are trying to go independent. JP Morgan is entering the metaverse. And this is big because Jamie Dimon at one point was always saying that cryptocurrency is a scam, cryptocurrency is going to go down, and for you to end up seeing Jamie Dimon being this focused on the metaverse and JP Morgan getting into the metaverse and becoming potentially the first bank in the metaverse is an important thing. Another one to end up listening to is Sling TV. For everyone out there that uses Sling TV, they are now going to start accepting Bitcoin as payment. So those are the main stories when it comes to cryptocurrency. Now I can show you the stuff I actually wanted to show you instead of giving you the news that I always have to make sure to give to you all. But I want to go to Magic Eden because I've been a big person that's been talking about the Solana blockchain. And I would be against myself if I did not talk about Degods. And Degods are a big NFT that's out there. I got in when this number right here was saying 26 Solana. So you look at it saying 38 Solana, which is a huge thing. Another thing that I like, so big thing is shout out to Frank. He's one of the creators. Degods, he's had a whole plan and the whole team has done really well. These are just some of the ones that are on the floor. There was one that actually sold today, crazy enough, for almost like $50,000 or so. Some of them were like ridiculous. I'm trying to figure out, see if I can find it because one sold for like a bunch of I saw an 83 one there. I don't want to take up too much time trying to look for it. So I'll show you the 83 one. But a lot of this is because of the rarities that come with some of the different Solana. So this one sold for 83. So if you can do the math really quick, that's damn near like $83,000. So a big thing is he bought this for 83 Solana. They have something called a bitch tax, which is you're not able to sell this NFT for less than what you bought it for. So if he bought it for 83 Solana, he has to make sure to sell it for more than 83 Solana worth, or they will tax him 33.3%, which then you're not making any money at all. Thanks. So it's a smart thing that he ended up doing because it forces people to hold. And another one that I wanted to end up talking to you guys about, and I've mentioned it numerous times before, but Yaku. So this is on the Solana blockchain. I have two of the motorcycles. What happens is you will start with the motorcycles. If you hold on to the motorcycles, you are then whitelisted for the capsules that'll come out. So think of it like apartments in The Sims. If you got a car, then you're able to hold it to get the house for a cheaper cost. If you have the house and the car, you can then get the avatar. So I have two of the motorcycles and I got one at 2.6 Solana. I got the other one at 4.5 Solana. So with this sitting at 6.10 Solana, I'm doing fairly well. And it's just one of those things that you have to hold on to. Another one that I want you guys to look out for, I'm not as happy with them, but I do want to mention it because I do have it, is Monkey Labs. And what Monkey Labs does is they're a launch pad that allows NFTs to launch on top of them. And then they give 50% of the revenue back to all the holders. So I got into Monkey Labs when it was sitting at 20 Solana. So you see it sitting at 24 Solana, It's basically at $90 per Solana. So that's over about $270 I made off of one. But funny enough, mine's probably sitting right. It was sitting right here. Oh yeah. So this is the one I actually have. I'm listing it to see if it'll end up selling. It should, because there's other ones just like mine that are behind it. So more than likely tonight, I'll probably drop it a little bit lower so I can get another DGod. So if anyone out there is listening to this and you see someone that ends up start picking up random DGods, it's probably me that did it. But a big thing with DGod, going back to it, is one of the Solana founders, he actually posted as his profile picture on Twitter a DGod. So it was a big thing and the price started going up. This price was sitting at, I would say, close to 29, 30 Solana, and it jumped up to 35 to 36 Solana just off of the news that the Solana founder posted as his profile picture. So those are the big things when it comes to the Solana blockchain, and then the NFTs that I just wanted to bring up to you all. The stuff that Steven and I have been talking about over the weekend, and then also sending each other stuff on. I'll start with in sports is All-Star Weekend. So for everyone that knows about All-Star Weekend, the NBA All-Star Weekend, I would say personally, out of like the four major sports, is the number one to watch. Is the main thing you'll watch. NFL, they have so many things that they're trying to change with it. MLB, you only really watch the home run derby, and that's if like big name people in it. Hockey, it gets so consumed with all the other sports that are out there that you do forget about it. They do have like the trick shot that can be cool. You also can injure yourself more, even playing just hockey in the All-Star game, because the moment someone smacks into you, you're still going to fight. Like, you guys will try not to, but it's one of those things. And then soccer, I just don't pay attention to that enough to know they're All-Star. But so I want to start with, we won't talk about the rookie sophomore game, but I want to start with like the skills challenge. So give us an overview like of the skills challenge, and then I want your thoughts on it.
Dude, they change it every year.
They really do.
Like, I mean, first they call it. It used to be called. I know you're not going to talk about the rookie sophomore, but it used to be called the rookie sophomore challenge or game, whatever. Now then they went to USA versus the world, rookie versus sophomore, USA versus the world type of thing. Scratch that for some reason. And now they're going back to the rookie sophomore type of deal, but it's called the Rising Stars Challenge. Okay, I get it, but just keep it simple. Just go back to the rookie sophomore game. We all love that.
Yeah.
And then the skills challenge is it used to be like 4 different teams, and it'd be like if they did like the Hawks, they'd have a WNBA player, they'd have a former player, NBA, and then they have a current player, and they do an obstacle course like dribble through this and that, pass, a layup, all this kind of good stuff, and they end it with a half court shot. And they still do a version of that, but it's like it's so like convoluted with like you got to get this many points, and like you get this many points for doing this one. If you win this one, you get 100 points. So like a team can win one event, but like win the whole thing because like that event was worth like 300 points. And everybody like, dude, I don't care about the points. And then like the dunk contest sucked ass. That was the worst dunk contest.
You saw Kareem leave?
Yeah, I've been watching. I think you and I both can say this. We've been watching the All-Star game weekend for as long as I can possibly remember.
Yeah,
like I used to have dunk contests in my basement with the boys. Like you said, like the Fisher Price suit, we used to do it outside at night. We used to, try and set up the TV outside. It wouldn't work because TVs back then wouldn't do that. But like, we'd have dunk contests on like the Nerf hoops. Like, it was like a whole thing. You'd have the boys over, pizza and everything, the whole 9 yards, right? So now it's like, I love watching the dunk contest because like it's dunk contest. And like I like watching NBA players do crazy dunks. But there's like everyone's done the craziest dunks, and like not like you can't do anything that's like gonna blow people away unless you do like a off the backboard between the legs from the foul line. Which 2016, if everybody remembers, for those NBA fans out there, the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest, which like I'm not gonna say it ruined the dunk contest from then on, but it really ruined the dunk contest from then on. If anything, you go back to like Vince Carter ruining the dunk contest back in like 2000, which was like probably the best four dunks that anybody's had. And then like there was ones back in the day, like 05 with like J.R. Smith and Josh Smith and like, but like this year's dunk contest was just bad, dude. And like, it looked like these guys were just, like picking shit out of a hat. Like, all right, I'll try this one. Like it looked like no one practiced any of their dunks. And
Timberlands, that was your best thing,
bro. Like when I saw that, and that was the first dunk.
Yes,
that was the first dunk. When I saw those Tims come out, I was like, "This is gonna suck." Yeah, we all should have known it was gonna be trash from there. And he was dancing like if that was my like Greg and Cole Anthony was the one who did the Tums. Well, I needed Tums. It was that bad. I hurt my stomach that bad. I was sick, bro. And his dad came out. Greg Anthony is Cole Anthony's dad, former UNLV great, former NBA player. Comes out and like Cole Anthony started doing some dance. Bro, I would have smacked the shit out of my son.
Yeah.
With those Tims.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, no. Okay. And then no one completed the dunk on the first try. And no one got a 50. I cannot remember the last time there was a dunk contest without a 50 out of all the dunks that someone did. And Obi Toppin, like everything took so long, he threw it off the glass between the legs. That's not easy to do. And
it's not. I know.
There's not many players in the league who can probably do that.
There's not much time to do that.
And do it with ease, like he did it. Like Jason Richardson did it back in like 03, which was like the first time I had ever seen that. But it's like someone did that 2 decades ago, So it's like there's nothing you can really do, like jumping over people. Like people are tired of that. Like it's just like we're just getting to the point where it's like, well, what are you gonna like? What are you gonna do? You can't do anything else. So the dunk contest was trash. The 3-point contest was probably the best event of that whole thing.
Surprised me a lot.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns lit shit up in the last round, and it came down to him and who was the last one? Was it Kennard?
Yes.
Yeah, Luke Kennard. And everyone, like it was they screwed that up too. Like it used to be just 5 racks. You go corner, elbow, top, elbow, corner. Now they throw in a complete money rack, which is all like worth 2 points, I think. And now they have 2 3-point shots, which are from like 25 feet or like 28 feet or whatever it is now. Come on. Like we don't need all that. We don't need all that. And then the All-Star game itself was Sunday night. I watched the first half of that.
So the real question is, which commentators did you watch?
Was there other than TNT out there?
Oh, so you had Reggie Miller, Dwayne Wade, and Kevin Harlan on TNT.
That's who I watched.
Then on TBS, you had the Crazies. You had Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaq.
Oh, I missed that one. Damn. Bro, I wish they would have had those guys doing the dunk contest. I mean, Reggie and D-Wade were trashing it too, but Chuck and Shaq would have never let that happen.
They're so honest.
Yeah.
And they like, legit say some shit.
There was a meme, I don't know if you remember when Vince Carter did one of his, I think his first dunk, Shaq had like the big ass camera filming it, and he was all hype. And then, there was the best parts about the dunk contest sometimes, other than the dunks themselves, are the other NBA players' reactions to it.
Yes, KG used to have good reactions.
Yeah, and they showed a meme of like how the dunk contest started, and it was Shaq like freaking out, and then the next picture was him sitting there on Saturday night, just like,
I know
this sucks. And then Kareem said, "I'm too old for this shit. Like,
I'm gone.
He's out, bro." And then like, there's always I don't know, like 20 NBA players on the sideline in the corner, like standing up. Yeah. And with every passing dunk, there was just like less and less players.
Yeah.
And you had like the no-name players that were like coming up from the G League, like just like
that's what I was gonna say.
Popping up for All-Star Weekend. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, like the All-Star Weekend is good, but it's like, they try and change it every year because they think they have to. You don't have to, like, especially with, but I mean, I don't know what you can do about the dunk contest. Like you can't, it's not the players' fault that, well, this one was all on the players. This one was just all on the players. But I don't know what you can do every year to make it better. Like,
so do you remember when It was years ago when they had the wheel and they spun and you had to replicate someone's dunk from the past.
Yeah.
I feel that's one of the few things, because it'd be kind of cool to see if you can replicate, because they have enough dunks now. Try and replicate Zach LaVine's, try and replicate like Jason Richardson's and stuff like that. More so for this group that they had. Now, if you had like Ja and Zach and like Miles Bridges, they would find something to do.
But like
this group is like, you didn't even study for a test and you just went in there.
And just over the years, it's gone downhill because a lot of the big name guys don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't want to get hurt and they don't want to lose. You used to have like all NBA players doing it. Now you got guys who aren't even making 13 all NBA or not even like all stars. I don't think any of the guys doing the dunk contest were all stars. Like you have that. You used to have that with back in the day, or you'd have like, the young guys who'd come in. But now it's like none of these old heads want to do it, or none of these guys who've been in the league for a handful of years, because they don't want to get hurt. They want to, if they're playing in the All-Star game, they don't want to they're just trying to enjoy their All-Star break and get a little lit and show up to these events and shit. But like, I don't know what you can do. I mean, I say you bring in just like random Joe Schmoes from the audience who like are dunking at the parks and shit. And
that's what Stephen A was saying.
And bring those guys in, like, and just let them handle it and see what we can get, or do like, I don't know, like doing shit for a charity and like raising money is like, that's not going to do anything either. Like, no, I mean,
it's not an incentive for them.
So I don't know. Like, I love the dunk contest, been watching it for a long time as you have, but I don't know what you can do for it. Did you watch the whole weekend?
So
first of all, Steph Curry had 16 threes, by the way.
Steph Curry went off. He shattered Paul George's record so fast. And he made it so easy. And the craziest part is when he shot, it was just a thing of beauty when he was in rhythm. Like those, when he just would look at the crowd and the balls in there, I'm like, damn, you are that good. Everyone can like feel when they're good, but they still got to look at it and they know they're going to make it.
Bro,
but this man shot it, turned around.
I don't know if I'm that good at anything in life where like I can just do it. And like the moment I do it, I can like walk away like, yeah, that felt good.
You're good. Yes.
Like I can't like I can't think of anything right now that like if I did it right now, like I could just know instantly like, man, that felt good. Nothing.
And thing is, he was never wrong when he did that.
No.
That's the wild part. Swaggy P was wrong, but he was not wrong.
Yeah.
But my thoughts of the overall weekend. So I did not watch. I rewatched everything that happened Saturday. Shout out to YouTube for cutting out all the BS. Like I got straight to everything. I thought that it made me see. I didn't know how good Darius Garland and like Evan Mobley and all of them were. It's really cool to see Jared Allen, because I remember when Jared Allen was a big thing on the Brooklyn Nets, and they traded him, and then he got traded again because he was part of that whole Karis LeVert and stuff like that that happened.
Did you see that he said he had to get an iPhone because the guys on the team wouldn't let him in the group chat because it was all green, so they made him get an iPhone so it could be blue and they could have an iChat and everything.
They play this man so much, and they said Jared Allen's like the only person that makes $20 million plus and acts the way he acts. If you saw his outfit afterwards, man just got in a regular hoodie and just pants.
My guy looked comfy as shit too.
He did.
Dude, that's the other thing. Like these guys are wearing all these outrageous outfits. There's no goddamn way that any of that is comfortable.
No.
If you're wearing jeans, if you're wearing jeans that are cutting off the circulation to the rest of your legs, or if you're wearing a shirt that weighs 20 pounds, or if you're wearing what James Harden was wearing the other night in his first game on the bench in Philly, wearing like a Jesus robe looking thing.
Yes.
Like, there's no way that's comfortable. And you're spending like, guarantee you, Jared Allen went to like Marshalls.
Yep.
picked up a thing that's like probably originally like $24.99, but at Marshalls it's like $9.99.
Yep.
Like, bro, I mean, I do that. Like, but it's all good stuff. But like, I mean, I'm just trying to be comfortable with shit.
So my big things with Saturday, and I was gonna bring this up. There's not enough stars anymore in any of it. Even Giannis was in it, but he had his brothers. And those were the jokes like I love hearing Chuck and them talk, because they're like, as long as Giannis is in the league, his brother's always going to have a job.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. I heard that.
That's the best employer there is. This man going to make sure y'all get jobs all the time.
Yeah, he's not Thanasis.
Yeah, I know.
The homie, the homie.
Yep. And they all got rings.
Yeah, they all got rings, bro. They all got fucking rings. Good for them.
But 3-point shootout was good. Cat was in rhythm. I don't like this whole money ball rack because I feel it changes the game of everything. Because if you get hot at the right time, you're going to be able to just make those and you're straight. Whereas before, you had that as the last ball at each rack. It was a game changer.
Well, he wasn't even jumping either. That was the thing with him. He was his legs were like barely. I mean, he's also 7 feet tall, so he's basically like shooting down into the basket.
Yep, because they showed Luke Kennard. Because when Luke shoots, he jumps like over the line, then he has to reset and then come back. Yeah. So they were saying that's a big difference. Dunk contest, don't really need to talk about it. The big things that I wanted to talk about, the All-Star game itself. One, we're not talking about the one that's saying the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. We're not going there. Mm-hmm. Two, Zach LaVine and John Morant helped the dunk contest still be good. DeJounte Murray did too with his dunk off the backboard, but like Zach LaVine in space, and then also John Morant just doing a 360, catching the ball and just doing it. Those things are good. It's funny because they always call out. So I was listening to, Draymond was a part of the crew of them talking, and Draymond was like, Jimmy, we noticed you never really play in the All-Star game. What's that about? And you could tell like Jimmy's mind, like, shit, why y'all gotta snitch on me? Like, I be just trying to chill out here. But so
that's what I'm saying. The all like those guys just like some of those like older players just like get a couple runs up and down, and like they're like, all right, cool, deuces, I'm done for the night.
Yeah. And CP, he's another one because shout out to him. This man legit did it for the fans. His hands messed up in everything. And he still went out there. Yes. And he went out there, just tried to, at least they said he wanted to get an assist, but it didn't happen. But he got like some run and got out there. So I do like that, seeing that. And then the last thing that I'll move on, it's so crazy because people like Devin Booker and Luka, I did not realize they had as many points as they had. So huge props to all the statisticians out there that keep track of the points, because it's quiet when you're focusing on like Steph, and Joel Embiid's nice. So I'm so happy that I actually have him as one of the many players that are playing for me on my team that I decided. Thank God. But yeah, Joel's having a really nice year. So him and James can do well. But those topics are cool. I want to bring up Zion Williamson because this is something that a lot of people started to bring up, but also New Orleans fans are starting to think, damn, if we would have had Ja, we would not be in the same situation every single goddamn year. But I know you also heard what JJ Redick said. So what are your thoughts, and tell everyone what's been going on?
All right. So long story short, Zion Williamson, number 1 pick in the draft two years ago, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago. Out of Duke, listed, labeled, predicted, projected, whatever, to be pretty much the next LeBron James. Because the way he dominated high school ball against, right, he was playing guys that were the size of my son. So like that doesn't even count. And then the way he dominated college and like at Duke, he had RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, like that team was sick. But the thing about him was when he came in, I mean, the man is, I don't know what his actual height and weight is, much like Charles Barkley. Like Charles Barkley is not as big as you think. He said he's like 6'5", something like that, and 50 something, whatever, something like that. But Zion's like the same way. Like with NBA players, we don't know what their real height and weight is. Like, I mean, they go to the combine and they get measured and weighed and everything.
Shout out Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I mean, I think Isaiah Thomas, the current Isaiah Thomas, is the only player we know what his height is because it's brought up all the time when he's trying to get in the league. Yeah. But Zion was listed some damn near 6'8", close to 285, 300, depending on what website you looked at. Which is like, bro, if you're not 7'2", like Shaq was 7 feet, 7'2", in that range, 320 pounds in his prime. But that's okay because he's 7 feet 2. Like Greg Oden, speaking of guys who have bad luck with injuries, 7 feet, 250. Like that's reasonable. Now then you got guys like LeBron who are listed at 6'8", 265, but there's stories he was listed around 280. He was playing around 280 down in Miami. But like LeBron, like he's a different athlete. Zion, if you're that young and you're that big and like you already have, the way he walks, it looks like he's already hurting, bro.
Yeah, it does.
Like you can't carry that weight for 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
Like if you have one injury, which like I don't even know what the injury was originally. It was a foot injury, right? He had surgery. Like that's bro, that is, as an NBA player, that's not impossible to come back from, but that is really tough.
Yeah.
Especially carrying that much weight, doing what he does. And like he's not playing the perimeter. Like he's inside banging and jumping up and getting rebounds and dunking and doing all that shit like constantly. So like he's having like the brunt of every single jump from like the knees down. And if we've all played ball. If I got out there right now, I would shatter both my knees and both of my ankles. There's no question about it. But like back in the day, even when I was running fives in high school and college, and I'm sure you're the same way, like sure we're young, but that shit hurts. Like if you're running five for like a couple games, like 2 or 3 games, and you're playing for a while up and down, that shit hurts the next day. Like, but like you're doing it for 82 games a season, and you're playing, 35, 38 minutes a game, like Zion is trying to grab, 10 boards a game, bro. That's gonna like you're not playing more than 5 seasons. Like it's just not gonna happen. So I mean, and he's had setbacks with his injury. And look, there's like two sides to this. There's the side that like we as like the like the media and like the fans and the people who watch on social media, like there's what we know, which is nothing. Like we don't really know shit. Like JJ Redick, I think Matt Barnes has also said some stuff. Kendrick Perkins has said his 2 cents. Carry the hell on. But like and these guys say like I've heard from so and so, and I get JJ Redick's a former Pelican. He's a really respected guy now in like the media world. Like he does the podcast and everything. But like, what does JJ Redick really know about what's going on with Zion? Like I can say I heard from a guy who I know down in New Orleans who follows the Pelicans blog site about this and that. And like he said, Zion is unhappy. Like, does this guy really know? And like, no, like no one really knows what's going on. Other side to this where like Zion could really be having all these setbacks and it's just fucking up his entire career, which is what it seems like it's going towards. Like, does he want out of New Orleans? Is he frustrated? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, of course he's frustrated. But like all this shit just piling up on the fact that like he's not healthy. And if you're the number 1 pick, like that is like what you are drafted to be. You're drafted to be that guy. Like, and if I'm sure Pelicans fans think this, like if we had Ja, we'd be in the position that the Grizzlies are in. Would you be though? Like, would Ja be balling out in New Orleans with that dog shit team?
That's the other thing. Yeah,
maybe
the Grizzlies had a decent team around him.
Yeah, like maybe, like I don't know. Like he could very well be, but then again, he could not be. Like, if KD went to the Blazers and Greg Oden went to the Supersonics, would KD be the Hall of Famer, or would Greg Oden be, or would Durant be sucking and Greg Oden be the Hall of Fame? Like, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Like if the Pistons drafted Carmelo Anthony instead of Darko Milicic, I mean, I might have, I mean, I say we might have 3 or 4 rings in that span instead of 1. So,
and you would have an NBA 75 team player.
Yeah, no, shout out to the Pistons for being the only NBA championship team to not have a player on the 75 team. On the what's the all 75 team or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
So like with the Zion thing, like I don't know what's going on. I want him to play because because he's like a legit good player, and I want to see. He's nothing against Zion. Like I would want to see the kid do well. He's so young. So if I'm in his camp, if I'm like his manager or his consultant or whatever, and we've talked about this I think before, like, bro, I sit him out as long as humanly possible.
Joel Embiid,
until he can play, until he can like, do like a 5-on-5 game with like scrubs and have no pain, and like he's good for like 3 days after the fact, which is like it's not like like as soon as the game's over with. Yeah, of course it's gonna hurt. It's the fact it's like the week or like the couple of days leading like after you play where like the pain sets in and like you have these recurring things. So like, bro, I'm not a doctor, but like just let him he's what 20, 21? Let him sit as long as he needs to, get that shit healed up, go to as many doctors as you need to, get as many opinions as you need to. But like until his body is telling him like, all right, bro, you're good. We can jump back out there. I don't care if he misses 4 seasons. I don't care if we get like, 5 good seasons of Zion, 5 all NBA seasons of Zion. That's better than having none and him being completely done for the rest of his career.
So I got a question for you. So here's my only question. Where in the real world can you be like, you know what, I'm going to be sick this week. I'm going to be sick this week. I'm going to break this foot. I'm going to tear this ligament. I'm going to tear my shoulder. And y'all going to pay me every single time. And you're not going to fire me. And you're going to let me go work in Wyoming and Montana so I can make sure I get the best doctor so that my pneumonia gets taken care of. And then you'll let me come back. And I don't got to tell you what I'm doing out there. And by the way, y'all just hired a new COO and CFO, and I haven't even talked to them yet. So and my job throughout everything you just said, my job is 100% secure, and I'm going to be secure. I'm going to be the number one guy when I get back. Like after I'm gone for 250 of the 365 days of the year. Y'all don't know what I'm doing. There's no email contact. The entire company hates me. I don't give a fuck. The websites are saying this. I should be fired. And so, but the day I come back, that Monday morning when I come back, 9:00 a.m. and we're working, I am the number one guy, and I come back like nothing happened. Exactly.
And where else can you do that but sports? And out of all this, I'm
getting paid.
I'm still getting paid everything, and you suckers don't have nothing else to do about it. Yo, Brittany over in finance, Gary over in HR can't say shit about it.
Nope, exactly.
There's no board of trustees.
They're getting fired.
Fired, bro. Everybody else's performance is being impacted by me, and they're getting fired, or they're getting traded, or they're getting laid off. But I'm good, bro. I am good. Yo, I want that, dude. I want that. That's unbelievable. You are so good point, man. Good point. Yeah, you are so right about that.
Yeah, and you still get talked about more than the other person that they could have hired.
You got, bro. Zion's talked about more than Ja is sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Just because he's fucking hurt.
Yes,
that is unbelievable. That is such a good point. That's a great way to put it too.
The other big story I wanted to talk about was Juwan Howard. For everyone that didn't see, Juwan Howard basically mushed, for lack of a better words, the other coach, because it looked like if you saw the ending, you would think he punched. They're trying to claim he punched. He didn't punch. My man looked like he almost clawed the other person. And then you had a bunch of like players in the middle. It wasn't a fight. It was more so one of those skirmishes they would call, like everyone got together. You had one of the dudes on Michigan. Scuffle. You had one of the dudes on Michigan. And the worst part about it is, and I'll get Steven's take, when you have your coach in the middle of it, what the hell do you do? Like, what does the team do? Because the coach is supposed to be the one that keeps everyone back. When you have the coach in it, and these are young men growing up, you see some of the Michigan players are hyping shit like that. And I'm like, you're not making any of this better. So before Steven says his point, they suspended him for 5 games, aka they call it the rest of the season. It's 5 games. What is your thoughts?
If you're going to suspend him, I think you either got to I think there's only one way. Like, you got to go big, like rest of the season type of shit. You're not gonna fire him. Like, come on, like
real rest of the season.
I've seen a fucking Sean Payton was suspended for the rest of the season for Bounty Gate. If you're not getting like completely fired for that, like, then you're not getting fired for anything. So, again, where else can you go? Where else can you work? You punch basically a coworker.
Yeah.
Like you open hand punched open hand slapped a coworker. because he messed up on the TPS reports. Because he messed up on the TPS reports and hit reply all to an email that shouldn't have been reply all. and you open hand punch him in the kitchen during your 30-minute lunch break.
Yes.
And you get suspended for 5 days.
Exactly.
If that happened in my office, I'm gone on the spot, and I'm probably not getting another job anytime soon.
No, they're going to tell the other jobs wherever you try to end up applying, and you're not getting paid as well.
No.
So that was the big thing with that one. Other news that came out as we've been on here. So Troy Aikman is supposed to be leaving Fox Sports, and he's going to be going to ESPN Monday Night Football.
Shut up.
That's the big thing that has been talked about.
Is that real?
Online. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Bleacher Report and other places legit were just saying it on there. If I can find it. Yeah, so this is what is saying is potentially going to happen. Yeah, so let's see if I can show this to you guys really quickly.
How do I not know about this?
Yeah, it's right here. This is what everyone's saying right now. And you know how legit the Athletic can be. So what the Athletic is saying this too.
Oh, they're all there's 7 different publications right there that are saying it.
Credible sources too. And of course, this is a huge blow for Fox because it was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman for years.
Bro, he's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah, dumb money. So you're telling me you're gonna have Troy Aikman and whoever you put with Troy, because he's not gonna be the main one. Troy's gonna be the commentator for things. And then Eli and Peyton on ESPN too.
Wait a minute. So the guys that are doing ESPN Monday night right now, are they not coming back, I'm guessing?
They just kick them out every single year, ever since John Gruden was gone and Mike Tirico.
Well, shout out to the homie Louis Riddick for getting an interview for the Steelers GM job, or
that was good.
Potentially. Yeah. I hope he does. No, that's crazy news.
Pittsburgh about to be the blackest organization in the league.
Yeah.
The way they go.
Yo, shout out to the Rooney family. I do think though that Brian Flores, if you look at the Steelers coaching roster right now, there's not many head coaches on that list. But I do think, I mean, he's coaching, I think he's like a defensive analyst and linebackers coach or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. They just need to give him a job. I personally think, and I've seen this from a lot of Pittsburgh people that I know, that he'll take over for Tomlin whenever he's done. So they can keep it in the family,
and
if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, y'all ain't never saying shit to us.
No, never saying shit, bro. You guys everywhere else, bro. You guys got shit going on within the organization.
We ain't got shit here. We had men and we made that shit slide. We got black coaches. We good.
You got the blackest white owners in the league.
Yes.
And shout out to the Rooney family, bro, holding it down.
So other thing I wanted to bring up, because Troy Aikman was a big one. And then also before we got on here tonight, they're going to start allowing certain fans to be at the combine. So that's enough.
What do you mean by that?
So like that was some like fans. So if I can end up bringing this up, because I get different emails, like the Ravens and stuff will send it to me, but they said, come be a part of the excitement of the NFL Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium in March, in Indianapolis, March 3rd to 6th. Register up to 5 free tickets. So you'll be able to get tickets. For the first time ever, fans can sit up close to watch future NFL playmakers as they participate in on-field drills and listen in as NFL stars and legends break down the game and exclusive chalk talk. Plus, you'll be able to take a photo. So
sign me up for that, bro. I fucking love the Combine. People hate it. I fucking love the Combine.
I have mixed reviews on it. One, I think it's a cool idea. It also generates a lot of revenue for the area doing something like that. The only thing is they always try to force fans right into where the players are so that they can get in-game stuff. You ain't going to get shit. As soon as they see fans there, they are not talking the same way. I love Fred Taylor to death, but the way Fred Taylor talks when they make him talk professional compared to when he gets to just ramble with the boys, totally different. Fred Taylor is not slow. So that's something people need to understand. But when you got to get these people like talking and like, because Draymond, so this was something, and then we'll close up. I was listening to TBS and Draymond went to go sit next to Allen Iverson. And so the first thing Draymond did, because you can't say, "Ayo, Steven, I'm mic'd up, like don't say anything." This man, Draymond, said,
Yeah.
And it was one of those things of like, you about to say shit, so don't even think about it. So it's one of those things they're going to tell the players, like, we got fans in the stands. Like, don't say shit that you would normally say if you got fans. So those were the big things that happened there. What you got for the people?
I want to give a shout out to Penn State real quick. Penn State's dance marathon. It's called Thon. And for those of you who don't know, it's a 46-hour dance marathon that has been going on since 1973. The first one that they did. The first one they did raised it's for pediatric cancer research and everything. And it's been going on every year since then. It's not like we do it every 5 years or so. It's every year. It was this past weekend. And they do it's like Thursday or Friday night or something like that till Saturday or Sunday afternoon, 46 hours. So you stand the whole time, and it's just like there's different organizations, frats, sororities, clubs, everything is involved. And they used to have these weekends called canning weekends. It's literally like they went around different parts of Pennsylvania, like the Northeast, whatever, with cans, like tin cans, standing outside of like, Walmart or grocery stores or whatever the case may be, or standing on the street. It was like Thon pictures on it, and like people donate money to it, and like you raise money. And some of these organizations like frats or clubs, whatever, they'll raise like tens of thousands of dollars. But this year they set a record for what they did, and they raised $13.75 million. It was $13,756,374.50, which was
that 50 cents is important,
huge, which is a record for all the years they've been doing this. So you got to think like 1973, 78 dancers did it for 30 hours. Now it's like the entire Bryce Jordan Center, which is where Penn State basketball plays. It's the entire Bryce Jordan Center, which is a almost 16,000 seat arena. So like you have the entire arena is filled. And the entire floor is like, they move the basketball court out of there. And it's like, it's a crazy thing. Which, it's not football related. It's not basketball related. It's not sports related. So like, certain people know about it. Penn State people, obviously it's one of the coolest things that Penn State does throughout the year. If not ever. So it's a huge deal. And they've raised over $200 million since they started doing it for pediatric cancer research and everything. So just want to give a shout out to Penn State. And I know Penn State gets a bad rep for certain things that happened in the past, but this doesn't make up for the black eye that a certain person gave us. But this is something that they've been doing for, longer than you and I have been alive combined. So, just want to give a big shout out to Penn State. Love that it's my school, if that is done in my hometown. So big shout out to them.
So the little brother of Penn State, ODU, we did try and do that. It didn't last as long as
well, a lot of schools do it. They'll do something similar, but they'll do it for like 24 hours or whatever. And they'll raise like, a couple of grand here and there. But this is something that Penn State students take.
We didn't do it in our arena. We did it in the gym.
Yeah. it's a big deal, and people get super involved with it. And like, people put on their resumes, and it's the football team, like I think all the athletic teams come out and they do like a dance, and like they do like a competition for it, like all like the freshmen for whatever sport. So yeah, it's a huge deal. Like I said, super pumped that it's my school, my hometown. It's done there, and it's a big deal, and it's for awesome cause. And hopefully one day we can, the whole thing is to find a cure for it. So hopefully this can just keep adding to that and keep, funneling that cure into something. So good, big shout out to Penn State.
So mine is, it's two different ones. The first one is, this is probably the last chill weekend I'll have. So after the weekend coming up, I'll start to probably have stories between like one of my good friends' bachelor parties coming up. And then Steven and I are going to be going with some friends to the Lakers game. Then have the wedding that's coming up. Then after that, I'm supposed to be going on a trip. Then also I have this credit from American Airlines. Not going to say my true thoughts on American Airlines, but because 2 years ago I was supposed to go to Mexico and they gave us the credit. So I have a credit. So I might go out to Memphis to end up seeing the boys play one time because I got to use it by March 31st. And they play some good teams between now and then. So I might end up doing something like that. And then I'll try if I can. If I go by myself, I'll probably record or do like something from the arena or something like that. But that's the first thing. The other thing is, and I heard this today, it was a quote by John F. Kennedy. So I thought I'd end it with this and you guys can take it how you want. But JFK said back in the day, the time to repair a leaky roof is when the sun is out. And a lot of times people end up doing things when the sky is falling, but why are you going to do it then? So take it as you may. That's it for us this weekend. Yeah, no.
I felt that.
So Steve and I are out. We'll catch you all next week.
Peace.